Deep in the heart of the world's untamed jungles, nature has engineered a brilliant biological illusion. We usually think of plants and animals as completely separate kingdoms, but evolutionary biology reveals a mind-bending crossover. Through a fascinating phenomenon called Pareidolia, our brain's natural instinct to spot faces and living creatures in random shapes, some plants have developed fruits and seed pods that look shockingly alive. Whether it's to scare away predators or attract pollinators, these living botanical specimens use visual camouflage to survive in the wild. Here are 25 extraordinary fruits and botanical wonders that look exactly like animals and human faces. 1. Hooker's lips, Psychotria elata. Found deep in the tropical rainforests of Central and South America, this plant produces an unmistakable visual. Before its flowers fully emerge, the plant develops a pair of vibrant, fleshy bracts, the specialized leaves that protect the reproductive core that look exactly like a pair of bright red, luscious, human lips wearing lipstick. This striking face-like feature serves an evolutionary purpose. It acts as a bold visual beacon for hummingbirds and butterflies in the dark, dense undercanopy of the jungle. 2. Monkey face, orchid fruit, Dracula simia. Hiding in the high-altitude cloud forests of Ecuador and Peru, the Dracula simia produces a seed and floral apparatus that is a biological masterpiece. The arrangement of the petals, column, and lip creates an uncanny, incredibly detailed portrait of a small rhesus monkey or baboon face, complete with distinct eyes, a nose, and a bearded mouth. As the seed structure matures into its fruiting stage, the simian profile remains a striking visual puzzle that confuses passing herbivores. 3. Green bird flower, Crotalaria cunninghamii. Native to the harsh, sandy environments of outback Australia, this unique legume produces seed pods and structural elements that look like an evolutionary optical illusion. The individual green pods are shaped exactly like a tiny hummingbird or nectar-feeding bird in mid-flight, complete with a long, pointed beak anchored to the stem, broad wings, and a feathered body shape. This shape helps it blend seamlessly into the foliage, confusing local insect pests. 4. Parrot flower, Impatiens psittacina. Discovered in the dense tropical forests of Thailand and Burma, this rare balsam species produces a structural masterpiece when it sets its reproductive form. Viewed from the side, the plant looks identical to a small exotic parrot floating in mid-air. The bloom sports a perfect mix of rich purple, deep pink, and clean white, complete with a curved green hook that forms the parrot's beak and hanging lower petals that mimic the bird's tail feathers. 5. Swaddled Babies, Anguloa uniflora. Deep in the high mountain valleys of the Colombian Andes, this specialized orchid complex holds a stunning secret. During its developmental fruiting and flowering phase, the protective casing uncurls to reveal a hollow interior. Inside, the internal lip and column fuse into a shape that looks exactly like a tiny, pristine human baby, wrapped tightly in a white swaddling blanket. 6. White egret flower, Pecteilis radiata. Native to the wetlands and marshy bogs of East Asia, this botanical marvel mirrors the animal kingdom with flawless precision. The broad, pristine white structures are deeply fringed and extend laterally, looking exactly like a majestic white egret bird spreading its feathered wings as it prepares to take off from the water. 7. Flying duck orchid, Caleana major. This extraordinary Australian native has evolved a structural form that looks exactly like a tiny, reddish-brown duck skimming through the air. The upper part looks like a smooth, glossy duck's head and beak, while the lower body, forms the wings. This wild shape is actually a precise evolutionary trap designed to trick male sawflies into landing on it, ensuring the plant's survival through cross-pollination. 8. Sheep's head, fruit/devil's pod, Trapa natans. The aquatic floating plant known as the water caltrop produces a hard, woody seed pod with a dark, eerie appearance. When dried, the black pod looks exactly like a tiny, horned bull, a wild mountain sheep's head, or a stylized devil's mask, complete with deep-set eye sockets and 2 sharp, curved, defensive horns. 9. Snapdragon seed pods, Antirrhinum. While snapdragon flowers are bright and beautiful, their dried seed pods reveal a much darker, human-like form. Once the petals drop and the seed chambers dry out, the green pod turns into a brown, woody casing. The tiny pores where the seeds escaped open up to create 3 distinct holes, transforming the pod into a shocking, realistic miniature human skull hanging from the branch. 10. Bleeding tooth fungus fruit, Hydnellum peckii. Found across the mossy floors of North American and European pine forests, this bizarre organism looks like a living dental horror. When young and actively growing, the pale, tooth-shaped fruit body secretes a thick, dark red, gelatinous liquid through its tiny pores. The contrast of the blood-red fluid oozing over the stark, white, tooth-like structure makes it look exactly like a bleeding human tooth or gum. 11. Elephant apple, Limonia actidissima. The wood apple produces a massive, round fruit covered in a hard, rough, stone-like grey casing. The texture and dull grey colouring of the exterior rind are completely identical to the rough, wrinkled skin of an Asian elephant's foot or hide, allowing it to blend effortlessly into the dry forest floor. 12. Snake gourd, Trichosanthes cucumarina. This long, twisted vegetable grows hanging from elevated agricultural trellises across South Asia. As the elongated gourd develops, it twists, curls, and coils downwards, reaching lengths of up to 6 feet. Its bright green skin is striped with pale white lines, making it look exactly like a venomous green pit viper or tree snake dangling silently from the canopy. 13. Octopus stinkhorn fruit, Clathrus archeri. This strange botanical structure starts as a smooth, buried egg-like sac. When it matures, it bursts open to unleash a terrifying animal mimic. From the white base, 4 to 8 bright red, fleshy, tapered tentacles unpack themselves and spread along the ground, complete with dark, sticky spore patches that look exactly like the suction cups of an uncoiling octopus. 14. Starfish flower, Stapelia grandiflora. This South African succulent produces a massive, flat, star-shaped growth that looks like it belongs on the ocean floor rather than in an arid desert. The surface is covered in dark purple lines and fine, silky hairs that move in the breeze, looking exactly like a living, fleshy starfish stranded on the sand. 15. Caterpillar fungus, Ophiocordyceps sinensis. This rare alpine specimen found in the high Himalayas blurs the line between plant and animal. It begins when a parasitic spore infects a ghost moth caterpillar underground. The fungus slowly takes over the caterpillar's body, and in the spring, a dark, blade-like brown stalk sprouts straight out of the dead insect's head, creating a single, connected, animal-botanical hybrid. 16. Bunny ear succulent, Monilaria obconica. When this unique desert succulent sprouts its fresh seasonal leaves, it draws immediate attention due to its cute animal shape. 2 bright green, fleshy, cylindrical stalks grow upward, side by side out of a rounded base, looking exactly like a pair of long, fuzzy rabbit ears reaching out from the soil. 17. Laughing bumblebee orchid, Ophrys apifera. This clever European native uses visual trickery to attract pollinators. The central lip of the plant is thick, fuzzy, and patterned with rich brown and golden markings that look identical to the fuzzy body of a plump bumblebee. The internal markings are shaped in a way that looks like the insect is wearing a wide, joyful, human smile. 18. Penguin orchid, Caleana uniflora. Hiding in the cold, wind-swept terrain of Tierra del Fuego at the tip of South America, this mountain plant produces a striking animal silhouette. The unique orange and yellow pouch structure is held upright on a slender stem, featuring a bright white band across its middle. From a distance, it looks exactly like a colony of tiny, brightly colored penguins marching across the Rocky Mountain soil. 19. Darth Vader flower, Aristolochia salvadorandrensis. Native to the humid rainforest environments of Central America, this rare woody vine produces a ground-level bloom with a stark cinematic resemblance. The dark maroon hollow faceplate features two pale, deep-set white indentations that form eyes, creating a structure that looks exactly like the iconic black helmet of Darth Vader. 20. Monkey no-climb pod, Hura crepitans. The sandbox tree produces a hard, segmented seed capsule that looks like a miniature hand-carved pumpkin. However, when the segments split apart, the curved internal woody sections resemble a perfectly formed, tiny monkey tail or skeletal hand, leading to its popular name in tropical folklore. 21. Hand flower tree, Chiranthodendron pentadactylon. Revered by the ancient Aztecs, this large tree produces a flower cluster that looks shockingly human. Out of the center of a cup-shaped red bloom, 5 long, bright red, curved stamens extend outward. They look exactly like a tiny, clawed human hand or skeletal claw reaching out from the branch, complete with distinct finger-like joints and tips. 22. Bat flower, Tacca chantrieri. This exotic jungle specimen produces a dark, atmospheric presence on the forest floor. The large, deep, charcoal black bracts spread out wide like a bat's wings in mid-flight, while long, whisker-like thread filaments trail down nearly a foot from the center, looking like a nocturnal bat hanging upside down in the shadows. 3. Pigeon orchid, Dendrobium criminatum. This epiphytic jungle orchid blooms all at once, transforming tree trunks into avian sanctuaries. The center of each snow-white flower holds a delicate, detailed structure that looks like a miniature, pristine white pigeon with its wings spread, resting quietly inside the white petals. 24. Porcupine tomato, Solanum pyracanthon. Hailing from Madagascar, this relative of the common tomato is an aggressive visual warning. The bright green leaves and stems are completely covered in long, brilliant, neon orange needles. The plant looks exactly like a defensive bright orange porcupine or hedgehog rolled up on a branch, warning all passing jungle animals to stay away. Whether it's to trick an insect for pollination, scare away a hungry herbivore, or simply a beautiful coincidence of nature, these visual anomalies show just how creative and surprising the botanical world can be. They remind us that nature loves to hide its most incredible designs in plain sight. Which of these living illusions surprised you the most? Have you ever spotted one of these animal mimics hiding out in the wild? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you loved this visual journey into nature's strange illusions, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow nature explorers, and subscribe to Flora Fauna for more incredible natural discoveries.